So I have a strategy for getting over there without having to fight all these guys. My life bar is kind of creeping down again. Alright, so I run by all these enemies. They're gonna follow me all the way across the bridge. That's okay. So when we get up here, we're gonna make this jump. There we go. And I should retreat. That guy hasn't seen me yet. Here we are. So now... Uh-oh. Okay. Darn it. Well, that's alright. I still got pretty much the full healing. Do a thing. Maybe I should try shield blocking, or shield breaking you when you have your shield up. Or I could just do this. Guess that one didn't have a name. There was no, like, message about being invaded. Alright, what have we got? Fog door. So this is gonna be the... Wow. Boss already? But I just entered the Undead Purgatory. Oh! Good God. It's Ben-Hur. Alright. Big pit. Doorway. Skeletons. Death. Oh, I see. That thing had spiky wheels. Killed all the skeletons in me, so I have to duck into that. Oh, my life bar is getting so little. One of these days I should think about putting some points into vigor to get some more health. But dexterity first, so I can use more weapons, and then I want to find a weapon that I like, and then I want to get my endurance up to a point where... Uh-oh. I missed my jump. Go through the thing. There's no more red phantom. Use a potion. Get into the alcove. Get my souls. Alright, let's see how this works. So is that going to kill all the skeletons? Oh, it still hit me. Oh, death. Of course. Maybe I was standing too far out, or maybe the alcove isn't deep enough. Maybe I have to find the deep ones. Alright, let me try, get these souls. Try over here. back up as far as possible. There we go. Oh. Okay. Oh, got a necromancer. I should maybe kill these guys. Uh-oh, got another necromancer. Oh, it's a lot of skeletons. Yep, I got stuck. Alright. So there's a second necromancer somewhere. So the rest of the recording in this episode is going to be post-commentary. I've been talking for a couple of days about how I lost a few hours worth of live commentary on this play session. I'm not sure how it happened. I moved my computer at one point, and I think I unplugged the microphone, and it must have like toggled something in the recording software so that it was recording from another microphone that wasn't plugged in or something. So there is the in-game audio, as you can hear, of course, but I'm recording this a couple of days later. So I really don't like doing post-commentary, particularly on these Dark Souls videos, just because I mean, I think a lot of the fun of watching a Dark Souls series, or particularly a blind Dark Souls series, is that you it's kind of the surprise of all of the things that you discover that kill you instantly, and that's lost in post. So for this episode, and probably the next one at least, because I have quite a few hours of it, I'm going to be really trimming the videos down to just the interesting parts, like the boss fights and stuff. I'm going to cut out a lot of the monotony, just because I don't want to recreate the experience in this commentary. I had a lot of trouble on this boss. Quite a lot. In addition to the deaths that you see here, fighting the boss, and I think I died once or twice just outside the door from these guys chasing me down. I just had so much trouble getting here. There's a section in the forest where you cross over a bridge and you fight a couple of like regular hollows, and then one of those armored hollows that has like the dark magic staff. These guys. And I died a couple of times there, and then here they chased me down and killed me right at the door. At some point I decided, from all of the deaths, that I was going to start using this ring of life protection. It's actually, now that I've used it a few times, I realize it's an incredibly powerful item. You pay 3,000 souls to repair it, and it essentially prevents any penalty from dying. Like, you don't lose the souls that you have on hand, and it doesn't put a blood stain down. In my opinion, it's too powerful. I think it either should have, broken permanently like it did in Dark Souls 1, or it should cost more than 3,000 souls to repair. But it's really handy for when you're doing these runs on like parts of the game that you're finding difficult to beat, and you're dying a lot, because it basically prevents you from like your life bar becoming shorter and shorter, making each attempt more difficult than the last. So I used it here a couple of times, and then I either forgot to go back and repair it, or I didn't have the money for it. And once it's broken, once you lose the souls once, you know, you're already committed to using an effigy to coming back to life. So I didn't really bother to repair it until I think I had finally gotten past this part. Kept getting myself stuck in this alcove because I'd kill the necromancer and then I'd want to kill these skeletons, but I'd be worried that that chariot was going to come rolling around again, and it always took longer than I thought it would. So I ended up just getting my shield beat on until I was out of stamina and then killed, and then I would watch it then roll on by each time. Because why not examine the armor that you picked up in the middle of a boss fight, right? Yes! Yes! This is the one I win. This is totally the one I win. Chariot's gonna hit the gate. And I'm gonna destroy it. And it's gonna be wonderful. And that... And no, I'm just kidding. This is the one that I won. I got close. I actually saw kind of the light at the end of the tunnel in that last run. Got this first stage down pat. Run to the necromancer, kill the... Run to the necromancer. Yeah. Necromancer's on the other side, okay. You dummy. Yikes. So, it must have been this one, I guess. See if I get through the first stage right. I think this is the one. I remember the necromancer's on the left. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one I win. Take care of these guys after that goes by. Yeah, this is the one. Got the lizard staff. Let's take a moment in the middle of battle and see what that's all about. Staff used by hallowed Dranklake sorcerers. For sorceries and hex. Oh! Yeah, there's another case of backstepping out of a menu. Got me killed in Dark Souls 1. Jumped right backward off a ledge while I was talking to Rickert. I don't know why I used that life gem. I just wasted a life gem for no reason. That's alright, because we actually win this run. Just need to get to a safe spot. Go. Let's kill this last necromancer. Hit the lever, and all will be well. Oh, that lock on. So it occurs to me that I might not actually remember which run I won. Oh god, that lock on though. That just, it's driving me crazy, guys. I know that there are those of you out there who are saying that the ability to move freely while locked on offers you something that you didn't have in Dark Souls 1, and that you can learn to use it, and it's beneficial. My counter argument is, I can do all of those things if I simply don't lock on to the enemy. The reason that I lock on is to force myself into point relational motion. What locking on does is it changes the way that you move. So if being locked on switches you out of point relational movement when you run sideways or roll or attack, then it defeats the purpose of locking on. All locking on really does is put a white circle around the person that you want to kill. Anyway, enough griping. Back to dying. Back to lots more dying. That should have been plenty of time for that enemy to leave, right? how sad I am that I don't have my actual victory dance from from my live commentary when I won this fight. In fact, it was so long that there was a video cut right there. I guess it was kind of hard to see because it was a soft fade and I hadn't moved the camera, but basically I got up and ran around the room cheering. There's that staff. The lizard staff had sea and dark magic. So this staff, I guess, it lets you cast sorceries and hexes. I think that's right, because it has an A in sorcery and a C in dark. And I think it said something in the description about being able to use on hexes. And then I grabbed this soul, which is not a great boss soul. Soul of the Executioner's Chariot that holds control over the undead purgatory. The chariot was created only to torment undead, and it took the form of a horrendous mad steed, a window into the soul of its master. It's kind of interesting that I guess the soul is from the horse and not from the rider. So the description of the lockaway key combined with the description of the Executioner Chariot Sword, I think I look at the key description here again. So I was thinking about how they tie in. So it seems like the story of this place is that, I guess, like when the undead curse started spreading about the kingdom, similar to how in Dark Souls 1 the clerics would kind of gather, I think the Way of Light. I'm sorry if it's something other than the Way of Light. I've forgotten. But they would gather up all of the undead and bring them to the asylum. So a similar thing seems to be happening in Drangleic, or already had happened. They're taking the people infected with the undead curse and rounding them up and bringing them to the Lost Bastille or to here. And the ones that are brought here are kind of being hunted possibly for game, and they're being tortured. And so there's those guys that you fight that have like various, like probably the whips or the torturers, but they've gone hollow too. And I guess the Undead Chariot was again one of the hunters. And here we have a Muppet. I was trying to see if it had a face. It didn't look like it had a face. I think I tried clipping the camera into its head. Looks like it's got like a burlap sack over its face.
What is it? Oh, you trot along now. This place won't be any fun. Not for you. What is it?
This guy totally sounds like Jim Moriarty from that Sherlock series with Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman, which is terrific. If you haven't seen it, definitely worth a watch. So I was looking for an exit. Also, I saw out these windows that you could see that sword. So there's like, we're in some kind of circular building like this, where we fought the boss. It's like a kind of circular tunnel that has a chunk of floor missing, so it makes it like a Pac-Man shape, and or like a C. There's the sword. And I haven't found a way into the middle of it yet. I assume there's some way to get into the middle of it to get to that sword. Just barely see the light from a treasure around the corner there. I don't think it was anything, it was some, cracked orbs. Cracked red orbs, yeah. I think I probably will use some of those in a future episode. I thought surely there's a secret door here, but there was not. So, back to Majula. So I leveled up. I think I put 3 points into dexterity here. I was trying to get to 20 for one reason or another. I have a bunch of items I think that require like 18 to 20 dexterity, and I wanted to have options open for stuff I'll find later. I expect I'll raise strength and dexterity kind of together.
I'll be around.
Oh, that's right. No, I had a very specific reason to put points into dexterity. I had bought this this bow with the Dragon Rider's soul. And I was just testing it out to make sure that I could shoot the arrows that I had equipped, because there were some bows in Dark Souls 1 that only used special arrows. And apparently it upgrades with petrified dragon bones, which I don't have any of. I haven't seen those yet. I also upgraded this halberd to +3 and used it for a bit. It has a lot of spinning attacks. Sweeps and spins. But I was using it because it scales on both strength and dexterity. I like that move. I really like a lot of the roll moves. I try to use them when I remember them, but I didn't use them a lot in Dark Souls 1, like over the whole playthrough. So it's not something that I do like intuitively. So here we are in a new zone, the Harvest Valley. Back to the cool armor. I wanted to see how long this poison would last, whether it was something that I had to cure or if it would go away over time. And it looks like if you kind of run around a bit, or maybe just wait, it eventually wears off. It doesn't quite reach the end of the bar.
Are you a traveller? I'm Chloanne, an ore stone trader. I travel about collecting rare stones, which I sell to make my living. I never planned to visit this God's forsaken place. But I don't know. I just sort of ended up here. I must have just wandered in. But now that I'm here, I've been scouting around for rare bits. Oh, don't look at me like that. Many of these stones are quite useful. For instance, certain stones are used in smithing. Oh, now your ears prick up. I've extras if you can pay. This is my trade, after all.
So let's see what she sells. She had ascetics and 10 titanite shards, which I had no money for. A couple of spells. Soul Appease. One of the lost miracles preserved only in the Undead Crypt. The Undead Crypt is a place of rest for the living. Those afflicted by the curse can only pray to one day gain entrance. Kind of curious that there would be an Undead Crypt for the living. counterintuitive. And hex. Some people really don't like hexes. They tamper with life itself.
I came here in search of rare stones, but the place is nothing like I was told. All this poison, and you can't get very far inside. Don't just go haplessly wandering about. These stones may look all the same, but to the trained eye, each is unique. Some of them are used to smith weapons and armor, and some unique stones provide special benefits. Some of them are extremely rare and should be used with great thrift. None of the differences are easily spotted, but I've learned quite a lot, really. Drang Lake. How is it that I ended up here? It's funny. I can't seem to remember. I've searched every nook and cranny here. I suppose it's time to move on. Perhaps we'll meet again, if we live that long. I've searched every nook and cranny here. Perhaps... I suppose it's about time...
And now we take in the view. Binocular souls. I'm pretty pleased with the amount of damage that this bow does, especially considering it's not upgraded at all. But then again, I've also decided that on this playthrough, I don't really want to become too comfortable with the bow. I used it a lot in my Dark Souls 1 playthrough, and it's terrific for pulling like single enemies out of groups. But it also trivializes some of the some of the enemies. Like, I'm pretty sure there are enemies in Dark Souls 1 that I don't even know what it's like to fight them in melee, because I always just killed them with the bow. And this K is very melee combat oriented, so I want to get in there. Fragrant branch of yore. That's a terrific treasure. So now I can go unpetrify the statue that is kind of blocking me from opening that door past the blue sword guy in Majula. Look who we found here, Mr. Wheel and Deal.
Gavlan Wheel, Gavlan Deal. Gavlan wants soul. Make what you with Gavlan.
Definitely seems to only have one thing on his mind. So I went ahead and I sold everything I had duplicates of for some piddling amount of souls.
Gavlan Wheel, Gavlan.
Gavlan has no interest in talking to you. Figured I would get some more poison moss, since I'm basically swimming in it.
Many deal.
Well, thank you very much, Gavlan. It feels so weird to to talk to NPCs in post-commentary. Like, I can't even tell you. In fact, post-commentary in general feels horribly awkward. So, raw stone. Seems like it changes a weapon. It makes a weapon powerful for characters who aren't interested in raising strength and dexterity, who are relying more on like the base weapon of the damage than they are on the scaling. But that's the complete opposite of what this K is doing, so probably won't be using that. Won't be using raw. Kay is about to learn a very valuable lesson. Lesson complete. Yeah, I'm pretty bummed that I didn't have the live audio from that. I think it might be the first time that I've sworn ever in these episodes. And it wasn't like it wasn't like I'm so mad or frustrated that I just died swear. It was like, it was more along the lines of, okay, I've learned my lesson. We don't mess with those guys. Of course, Kay doesn't really pay attention in class.